when any season ends, you always are eager to get back out. But how in particular, is it that this year coming off how last year ended for you personally?
Oh yeah, I think for me, getting into a new clubhouse, meeting new guys, new teammates, and putting my years in Boston behind me and starting a new chapter in my career is one of the more exciting things that I've been able to do to this point. And I think this year more than any other year, I've been more excited to get in the clubhouse and any spring training.
How often do you think about that final pitch during the winter? Is it something you can easily put behind you?
Every day, all day. I mean, I don't think about it at all, man. It's something that, when I was a rookie and I made my first All-Star game, I had a chance to talk with Mo about, what's the biggest thing that's going to make me successful in this game, and his first answer was short-term memory. So you gotta be able to learn from them still and learn from those situations. But man, I don't sit there and think about it all spring. And you go over things and you try to learn from them, but you got to be able to turn the page.
Pat, speaking of Mo, is any part of you going to miss pitching against the Yankees for those series?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's those series against the Yankees. Those are series that you elevate your game and you see how good you can be against great teams and great division rivals. But there's great ones in this division too, with the Braves and the Mets, and I'm excited to start experiencing those.
How important was it to stay in a place where the intensity would be similar to what you're used to?
Big for me, yeah. Definitely a big decision for me was to go to a spot where I felt that I could thrive in, and as you all know, these are the type of situations that I like to pitch in and thrive in.
Your short-term memory won't let you look back. Have you given any look ahead? You're joining a great team. What would it be like to maybe face the Red Sox in a World Series setting? Can you look that far ahead?
No, I'm not looking that far ahead right now. It's hard not to look ahead. It's the human characteristic that comes into play. But for me, I'm just looking to find my way in this clubhouse and in this ball club and do the best that I can do one day at a time. If I can just go one day at a time right now. I know it sounds cliche, but that's what I have to do to stay focused on my job at hand and be able to go out there every day and do my job. But I do know when we play the Red Sox.
How much of a challenge is it for you in the sense of you come here and this team fell short of winning World Series the last few years, and do you feel like when you look in the mirror that you're the guy that's going to get him over the hump?
No. There's not going to be one guy that comes in this clubhouse that's going to make a difference. I think that every year you start fresh and you see what guys you have in the clubhouse, and you really just try to get that team camaraderie as good as you can get and get everybody kind of pulling on the same rope in the same direction. And if we're able to do that, we can do some special things. But like I said, no one guy will come in here and all of a sudden make a team a World Series championship team.
Anything take you by surprise when you got here?
No, not really. Maybe the fact that Jim Toby's still in as good a shape as he's in, but that's about it. I mean, nothing really.
How similar does this place, and I know it's early on, but the feel of this place, is it to Boston in terms of what you might face hype-wise, what you might face expectations?
I mean, from what I can gather so far, it's very similar. It's very similar in the ways that you look around the clubhouse, and it seems like every other locker there's a superstar in it. So, for me, I'm not going to really try to compare from one clubhouse to another. I'm going to come into this clubhouse, try to do my job, and just try to jump on board and follow everybody else and learn the ways of Philadelphia Philly baseball.
Did you talk to anybody about this clubhouse before you came here? Was there anybody you did?
No, the biggest thing is what I recognize in this clubhouse, and not necessarily in the clubhouse, but on the field as well, is that, you know, for the past 3-4 years playing against the Phillies, and watching them and playing against them, I just you see and you know as a baseball player, you know those teams that have that good close knit, and they go out and they go to war every night and they grind together, and you know you recognize those things when you play against teams that you see that. So I had a good feeling what it would be like, and it's just a lot of guys that love the work grinding out here. So.
Jonathan, have you heard from any of your former teammates? If so, what have they wished you?
Yeah, I've stayed in contact with a few of them, and you know, I've wished them all the best of luck. And you know, I have a lot of lifelong friends there, and you know, even last night with Wakefield, you know, that hit home for me a little bit, and you know, Wakefield and Tech and. You know, these are the guys that I came in the clubhouse as a rookie and learned how to play the game of baseball, learned how to respect the game of baseball. I would say would be the number one thing. And you know, those guys will always hold a special place in my heart, and I'll always be friends with them on and off the field, and still go out to dinners and enjoy time with them. Just except for when we play them those 3 games in Italy.
You were a starter. What do you think of Daniel Barron making the transition to the rotation?
Yeah, I actually I had a long talk with Daniel this offseason about that, and you know, I'm excited to see what he can do. I think Daniel has a phenomenal career ahead of him, and in my opinion, there's no reason why he can't start. I think Daniel can do whatever he wants to do. He's that good. Daniel is he's matured into a phenomenal pitcher, and he's only going to get better. And I think that you know, the sky's the limit for him. It truly, really is, and he can really go out there and do anything he sets his mind to.
Jonathan, why do you think you kind of disrupted that process back in '07 when they were trying to make you a starter?
You know, when that happened with me, Nick, I had to go with my heart. I had to go with what I felt like I was going to be successful at for 162 games. And for me, when I asked myself that question, it was closing. You know, I learned how to pitch in college, being a closer, and that's just what drives me. It's what gets me up every morning and wants to go to work. So I couldn't ignore that. And as you well know, that was the day that, you know, I went into the office in spring training and discussed that with Theo and Tito at the time.
We were talking a few minutes ago about when you were a young pitcher in Tech and Wakefield and kind of the impression they made on you.
Yep.
Now that it's kind of, you're the veteran guy in that bullpen, the Phillies bullpen, besides Dontrell and Chad Qualls, there's a lot of young guys.
Yeah.
The Phillies lost some veterans in Lidge and Madsen, so what does it mean to you to kind of take over that role of being a...
Well, see, I don't really look at it as I'm taking over like a leadership role, and I look at it like I'm bringing my style, my work ethic, and the way I compete to a bullpen. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell one guy this is going to work over the other, because everybody's different. For me, I'm just going to simply go there, do what I do best, and if somebody wants to ask me a question or follow in suit, I got no problem with it. But I try to lead by example and do my thing, and not really try to worry about anything else. And I do know we have a lot of young arms that are coming up, and for me that's exciting, because, you know, I remember when I'm coming up, you know, it brings that new energy, that little bit of life every day with young guys in there just getting in and wanting to prove and wanting to succeed. And you know, I think that you have in order to have a good bullpen, you have to have that good mix of veterans and young guys to keep kind of each other honest on both sides of the scale.
Does it mean anything to you to be the highest paid reliever ever, and is there any extra responsibility that goes with that?
It doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's not like a personal goal of mine to be the highest paid closer. That's not what I'm worried about. But for me, I do take a lot of pride in that. You know, this is a role that is relatively new and is now starting to get recognized as an important role and how important it is in baseball. And you know, reiterating back to Mariano, I think that he's the one that kind of set the bar and started, you know, making everybody realize how important it is. And I'm just trying to continue to carry that on and do my part. And it has nothing to do with any monetary value of how much you're getting paid. It has nothing to do with that. It has it's a small fraternity and of guys that try to, you know, I know we all look out for each other and we all keep close tabs on each other, and you know, I want every closer in the big leagues to do well, to show how important the role is.
Adam, we talked about the lifelong friends that you made in Boston. When did it become clear to you that you were going to be playing somewhere else this year? How early on?
Pretty early, you know. I wanted to get it done early, you know, and like I said in my press conference then, you know, I wasn't gonna go back and forth. I was gonna get this done, and whoever wanted me and was interested in me, I was gonna go full throttle. I wasn't gonna delay anything, and that's just how it kind of worked out.
Knowing the Red Sox as well as you know them, how motivated do you think they'll be to kind of come back after the way last year ended for them?
No, they'll be motivated. There's no question about it. I mean, there's too many good guys in that clubhouse and too many competitors and too many guys that have you know, too much pride to just lay down and say, you know, we can just come lay down. And those guys aren't going to come into this season and lay down. They're going to work hard. There's no doubt about it.
Charlie has said he's looking at you as the leader of the bullpen, and you mentioned you're going to lead by example. Are there added challenges to being the leader on a team for which you've never played for yet?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I'm not looking. When you say the word leader, you know, to me, a leader is somebody that goes out there, does their job, does it well, and other people take notice. It's not, a leader's not somebody that's going to go rah-rah everybody up and say, oh, we got to do this to win. I'm just going to go out there and do my thing. That's it.